I don't know why you do that. I'm so confused.
Not because it's just cool and that's what you're supposed to do when you're Hollywood like we are.
And I could be Wolfman, I guess.
Dealing with other people's nastiness.
I did my hair for the first time in a week and almost a half.
We've always struggled, I feel like, as a couple.
I mean, bending is a relative term at this point. It's certainly not the romantic, sexy stuff. Like, hey, I'm going to ruin Valentine's Day and then Sean's birthday the next day after. Surgeries at you. It throws sicknesses at you. It throws troubles at you.
Yeah.
And you work on it together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have not complained much. And they're shocked that Dad knows how to do it. Somehow I made it.
I know.
The kids' heads almost popped off. So.
Yeah, you definitely one-upped me on that.
There's always a healthy competition there to be. I like eating it.
Yeah, and I love cooking.
Yeah, so it's a good mix.
So
it's a good fit.
I'm so glad you went there.
Yeah. You used to get super frustrated with pancakes.
Pancakes are my Achilles heel.
They're just pancakes. Like.
Yeah. I mean, you can't eat the wiener dog, right?
They're shaking from the cold or nerves, but.
Right. Then she had the zoomies for like 30 minutes.
The zoomies.
I do.
I'll never forget someone told a story once of a kid that went to college that had no idea how to do laundry when they got to college.
Yeah, that was me. Like, I'm the chief laundry officer of my house.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. CLO.
Yeah, she does.
She likes to stink.
She does.
My book of accomplishments.
Man, to see his smile when he came through that door.
They know there's a little bit of a high bar to live up to.
I hope that our listeners are thinking of their own kids right now. And
you're living your life, and you've done something now that I've never done.
Yeah, probably one of the most powerful emotions as a parent.
It's like a balloon. I do like it, though. I'm not going to lie. It's like, hey, we have high expectations. Boom.
They loathe this book.
You don't have a bowling trophy, Dad. I'm like, actually, I do. Right?
Yeah, that's how math works, yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe that's why I've never been invited.
Uh-huh.
He's going to need therapy to bring that down.
They just like the fact that people kind of stare at them.
And I'm a gamer, man. Cold-blooded. There's a reason why I use that song all the time. It's ice in the veins.
Ironically, I was talking to...
I'll not defend that.
It was a dumpster fire.
Don't you put that on me, Bobby.
No, I'm going to guess it's...
I'm beating you.
You're beating me, yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink some bourbon, you're going to drink some wine, we're going to go to bed, and we're going to get up and do it tomorrow. Be great.
Oh.
Need a vacation.
Yes. We will, we can Mr. Rogers this, and...
I'll have more to talk about, and so
will you.
Sandcastles.
Welcome to the Mr. and Mrs. Inglis Podcast. I'm Megan.
And I'm Shaen. We're here to talk about the wild ride of raising kids, growing careers, keeping life together in the middle of all the chaos.
So buckle up, because we're all in this crazy journey together.
28. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Are you matching my mouth?
I don't know why you do that. I'm so confused.
Is that how we're starting it?
I don't know. Do we want to start with, I'm so confused?
There you go. You started off perfectly with that.
I started it off. Yeah, that actually is pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
I do. I do the bop, bop, bop.
Okay.
Because when I edit this, the video and the audio are separate files.
Oh.
And so I got to bring them in and match them up so that our mouths match. The audio matches the video. And so I go bop. That's why we have the clapper.
Yeah.
Not because it's just cool and that's what you're supposed to do when you're Hollywood like we are. The sound actually helps me match up the two different files. And then I want to make sure that my mouth is on too. So I do bop, bop, bop.
Got it.
Is my mouth matching my words?
That's really cool. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I think maybe we thought of a good nickname, since you did that and you're like, it's not because we're Hollywood. Maybe you should be Hollywood, like in Top Gun, and I could be Wolfman, I guess, because those are the two that are the Rio. I don't know.
I'm not even sure where you're going with that one.
All right, we're going to cut that.
Yeah. Let's just start off with welcome back to real life. You are as normal as you've ever been today. You've been up. You got your hair done.
I did my hair for the first time in a week and almost a half.
So if you haven't been keeping up on your M&M, Megan was in. You tell the story. You had it.
Yeah, so I had my ACL and MCL, or no, my ACL and meniscus repair on last Friday. So by the time viewers are watching this, we're actually 2 weeks out post-op, but we're recording this 1 week out.
Yeah.
And, the last 2 days I felt pretty darn good. I've actually felt pretty good most of the week. I just had Friday afternoon, evening was probably the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you've been a trooper. I think it's been pretty good after post-op. We can talk through any of that kind of stuff there too. But for the most part, this last week, you've been up and around as much as you can be, just given you've had surgery, all arthroscopic, but 4 incisions there. You've already been to PT.
Yep. I'm bending bending is a relative term at this point, but I'm working on bending my knee and getting some range of motion back, which feels good.
And I think in the last 2 or 3 days, what's really important for you is you're getting some more of your independence back.
Yes, it is amazing, and you've been so good. I mean, I know you're always there to help me, but you're also really good at I'm just gonna stand by and see if she calls for help, because I know it's important for her to feel somewhat independent. So it's no fun having to rely on someone else for everything.
Yeah.
It's a little demoralizing, and it's just not a comfortable feeling for me.
Luckily, there's no bathroom stuff involved. I mean, you've had to have help with showers and whatnot. But I mean, it's made me realize a couple things, right? I told you yesterday, I said, when I get old to the point where, I need help, don't put our kids through it. Don't put yourself through it. Just hire someone else who just doesn't care about dealing with other people's nastiness, because, it's just, not only is it embarrassing, but it's just demoralizing, like you said. It just makes you more of a piece of meat.
Yeah. And you realize that the humanness of all of us, there's actually a lot of really gross things that we don't talk about. I think if you're in the medical profession, though, a lot of people, it's just normal because they're part of being human. But for those of us who aren't in that profession, it's kind of embarrassing talking about your toilets and all of that. It's certainly not the romantic, sexy stuff that most people want to talk about in a marriage.
What's funny about that, and we always get off to something just a total off the subject type thing, but and we're shooting for making this one shorter because the last one was so long that I actually couldn't upload the audio file in one audio file. I had to break it into 2 parts. So that is the world telling us that we need to shorten it up.
Yeah.
So we'll shorten it up, despite I'm sure the outcries from everybody that wants longer and longer. But,
they just want to hear us for hours.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it was interesting, when you were coming out of surgery, they wanted you up and at 'em. You were still kind of asleep, and they're like, let's get her some crackers and this. And you're right. They're just used to that because, you got a little sick, when we first stood you up and whatnot. And you were so embarrassed by it and just, traumatized by it to some degree because you're not trying to be a problem for people.
Right.
Quote, air quotes, problem, which you aren't. And they couldn't have cared less about it.
Right.
They couldn't have cared less.
Yeah,
they're totally fine with it.
Totally fine. And it's I don't know, I think it's cool, maybe a little ironic that I had surgery on Valentine's Day. And that was a mutual choice. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to ruin Valentine's Day and then Sean's birthday the next day after. It was more or less, I want to get this done with. But it did, as I kept thinking about it, it's kind of a really interesting way to spend Valentine's Day because that's really, when you say for sickness and in health, for better or worse, that's what a marriage is. And I think it shows, and now I'm going to get emotional because it just shows your commitment. And we're cutting this because I can't get emotional. But it just shows that your love is deeper than how you look on your wedding day or the fun that you have on your honeymoon or all of the excitement in those first days. It's what happens in life, and life throws surgeries at you. It throws sicknesses at you. It throws troubles at you.
Yeah.
And you work on it together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what builds a strong and happy marriage.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything this week.
I'm happy to do it. I am. It's it wouldn't be anybody's first choice, right?
No.
I'm sure. But to your point, it's well, what else would I do? You know,
Yeah.
I love you. Of course, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you don't re-injure yourself, to make sure you're comfortable, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not even a second thought. And we've talked about it a couple times on this podcast since it's happened. I mean, this podcast, your knee's been hurt almost since this podcast has been around.
It has.
And so we've talked about just kind of picking it up. You know what I mean? I've just had to. It's I don't know what to liken it to, but it's like, okay, you know, life was busy a little bit before this, and now I've just doubled my to-do list because I'm handling your to-do list too. And it's like, I don't think we've skipped a beat. And that's not me patting myself on the back, because I know absolutely you do it for me.
Absolutely.
And sometimes when we get going, I think your point here is it's nice to see that it is still, you know, it's true. Like we were forced to slow down, and you were forced in a tough way to see, you know, that love I have for you, that unconditional, I'll do anything I have to make sure you're taken care of, is there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because we don't get chances to show that when we're, you know, passing each other at night and
Yeah.
passing the keys, you're running to this and I'm running to that.
Yeah. And it's just like, you know, every little thing. And even if because you've had to, oh man, the miles that you alone have had to drive over the last week have been astronomical. But even when you aren't there, you're 100% then instilling in the kids, you need to change mom's, you know, cooling bag and all of that. And so it's like, you've prepped even for the times that you aren't physically sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And I know it's been a lot, so thank you.
Excuse me. That's a good point too, that the kids have stepped up, right? I mean, this has been great for them because we've always struggled, I feel like, as a couple, to make sure we've created lists before about here's all the chores. We're going to print this out and everybody's going to check box when they get it done. And we never do it.
No.
We just never implement that. And they do chores, don't get me wrong, but just not on a consistent basis.
Not consistently. Yeah.
And this has really been a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say the kids have stepped up.
They have.
They have not complained much.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they've stepped up and started doing the things that they need to do about, you know, washing dishes and putting them in the dishwasher. They've always washed or at least put them in the dish or in the sink.
Yeah.
But sometimes we let them slide on actually getting them into the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, I know they've always helped dry dishes and put them away, but like there's always those dishes you can't put in the dishwasher. There are people out there that are anal like me. Not everything can go in the dishwasher. You have to hand wash some of it. They've never actually done the washing part of it.
Yeah.
And the cleaning the kitchen, because washing the dishes is really cleaning the kitchen. That's wiping down the counters, the stove, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, they all have now.
It's good. They need to learn how to do some of that stuff. They're doing more laundry now because you can't make it up the stairs.
Yep.
You know, so they're having to learn how to do that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're shocked that dad knows how to do it.
Oh, yeah. It's just hilarious. Like, I don't know why they would be shocked by that.
Yeah.
Because
I lived for 27 years without your mom. Somehow I made it.
I know. Which if the shoe were on the other foot and you were injured, there would be no way that I could step up and take over like your household chores. I have no idea how to start a lawnmower. That's one thing I've never done.
Yeah, that's probably true, I think. And I don't mean, again, I'm not.
Oh, no, that's very true.
I'm not, that's not a patting myself on the back, but we just, a lot of things that I handle probably, there'd be more of a learning curve. Let's just put it that way. You're capable of almost all of it, but there'd be more of a learning curve.
Sure. You might have to give me or hand me like the user manual for the mower or something like that because I wouldn't know what to do.
The kids' heads almost popped off when you went. Unfortunately, you had to travel for a funeral of a family member. But while you were gone that weekend, I cooked them waffles with bacon in them and with chocolate chips in them. Homemade. I mean, out of a box, right? But I did that, and I made, and their heads literally were spinning that Dad knew how to make waffles, let alone with bacon and chocolate chips in them.
Yeah, you definitely one-upped me on that because I put the bacon in the waffles, but I've never added chocolate chip and bacon.
Yeah.
Woo,
well,
good dad there. That is a great dad move.
I think there's always a healthy competition there to be like, the cool mom or the cool dad, and since I don't get opportunity or take opportunity maybe is a better way of putting it to do that, to cook much.
Yeah.
It's not one of my favorite things. Some guys love cooking. I like eating it.
Yeah, and I love cooking.
Yeah, so it's a good mix.
So it makes
It's a good
sense.
fit.
Yeah.
But I know how to do it. So when I made pancakes another time, like a year later, right?
I'm so
Like,
glad you went there.
yeah, of course I'm going to. I gotta, there's a few things that it's fun to talk about because the kids loved it.
It was great.
I was making pancakes. I don't know where you were at this point in time because we took pictures of them and sent them to you.
Yeah.
But and the backstory here is you used to get super frustrated with pancakes.
Yes. I love to cook. Pancakes are my Achilles heel.
Yeah.
And this is out of a box, people. It's like, I don't know how to make pancakes, but my pancakes are terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. You get really frustrated with it.
I do.
Incredibly.
Like, and I make some complex meals, so it's not like
You're an incredible cook.
I'm not a beginner cook. But pancakes with a boxed mix, nope, burn them, or they're liquid, or I can't make pancakes.
So part of that competition, back to the story, was I was like, well, I'm going to make pancakes aren't my Achilles heel. They're just pancakes. Like, you mix it up, you flip them, and you serve them.
Yeah.
Put some syrup on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I one-upped it, right? I turned it up a little bit, and instead of just making pancakes, which usually is nuclear war in our house because Megan ends up throwing. It's hilarious. I decided to one up, and I made all kinds of funny shapes out of them. Like I made an R2D2. I made camel. I don't remember all the different shapes I made.
Oh yeah.
And I was getting good at it. I made one of our dog.
You did. Yeah.
I made
it
one of
just
Paris.
Like her.
Just like Paris. The kids again are like, how does dad know how to do this stuff?
Oh my gosh. We should put up on Facebook just the barrage of like the BB-8, the R2D2.
Oh, the BB-8, yeah.
All of these pancakes. I'm just one after the next, getting pictures of these.
Yeah, we're
amazing
texting them.
pancakes.
The kids are texting them to you.
They are.
Well, I'm just grinning, like the biggest smile in the background, like chalk one up for dad.
That was a great dad move right there.
That's a funny one.
Oh, how did they taste? Were they as good as they looked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you didn't eat the dog one, the one that looked like our dog.
Yeah,
That
we immortalized that one.
Yeah. You can't eat the wiener dog, right?
Nope.
Yeah, it's just too close to home because she's a doxy. You don't want to.
I guess so. I think we saved it for you.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
and it just got buried in the backyard.
Probably.
So.
But
Yeah, that was a good joke.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know about that, but so the kids have been learning and to do some of these things on their own, which they need to learn.
Yes, they do.
I'll never forget, someone told a story once of a kid that went to college that had no idea how to do laundry when they got to college.
Yeah, that was me. So I remember being in.
I won't forget the story, but I will remember who the story was. I will not remember who the story was about.
Yeah. This was when they actually put the printed directions on how to do laundry on the lid of the washing machine. And so I was in the basement of my dorm and I read through those instructions and I did my laundry that way. And that's how I learned how to do laundry. And I'd say I'm pretty good at it now. I'm like a pro.
Yeah.
I'm pro laundry.
Few could attempt to reach the heights of
laundry perfection.
Yeah, there's not even a better word for the word laundry that I can think of.
Yeah, in fact, I think I called myself at work one time. I'm the chief laundry officer of my house.
Yeah. Oh, definitely the CLO.
I'm the CLO.
Yeah. And that will always be, as long as you want that job, it's yours.
I actually like it.
Yeah.
There's something very satisfying to me about it. Like we talked a couple weeks ago about our OCD and like. Mm-hmm. Laundry is something that I'm a little OCD about. I want it done my way.
I love it. That's fine. Again, it's just sometimes you just get lucky. Like you love to cook. I love to eat.
And yeah.
You love to do laundry. I like to make dirty clothes.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. But
I was going to say you like to wear clothes.
I like to wear clothes, yeah. Well, in doing so, I dirty them, I guess.
Yeah. Because our kids are the real pros at dirtying the clothes.
That's true.
Yeah. Although it's the teenage years and the sports and all of that. They're pros.
Mm-hmm. In fact, we were just having the conversation 10 minutes ago about you can't sit on the couch after you've been jumping on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Why? because your body's dirty. And they're doing it without shirts on now. Why'd they take their shirts off? Because they're hot and sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's dried, we had to walk them through the process of how dirt transfers.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't sit on our nice couch.
Yeah. And like lay there and yeah.
Just soak it on in,
Mm-hmm.
like the dog does.
She's not allowed on the couch.
Like on the ground, I'm saying. Yeah, she's
Oh,
not
yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
couch.
Yeah.
She likes to rub herself and all that.
Yeah, she does.
She likes to stink.
She does.
Yeah.
I gave her a bath last night. This is what she does every time, which is why I have to mop the floor. After we give her a bath, and maybe all dogs do this, I don't know. She literally rubs herself on the ground, on the tile floor, to get the smell of the shampoo off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. You smell so good with the coconut cream shampoo. Like, she smells like a pina colada.
I don't know if I'm not a dog person, so I don't really know what other dogs do. You've had dogs. I mean, did your other dog do that?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Then she had the zoomies for like 30 minutes.
The zoomies.
Man, she was making full laps around the house.
So how are you feeling then? You're feeling pretty good?
I'm feeling pretty good.
You worked all last week. You took one day. I mean, I guess Friday you had your operation. You took that day off because you're in the OR.
Right.
Then you took Monday off because that was President's Day.
It was President's Day, and
you went right back the next day.
And then I went back the next day, and I honestly, I'm feeling really good. I think I didn't really have any post-op pain, I was on pain medication for a little while, but I think I cut that out pretty quick and I've been on Advil only since
Tuesday,
and the worst was this a couple days ago. I didn't have feeling in about a quarter of my leg.
Yeah.
And the feeling came back all at once. And everyone said like, oh, it's the nerves turning back on or firing back up. That was one of the most painful things I've ever had for, I don't know, it was 8 hours or whatever of it felt like someone was taking a metal bat to my shin for 8 hours. That was the worst pain. But other than that, 8 hours after a week and 3 days, like, I'll take that.
Yep.
And there's going to be obviously PT pain as I really get into that. I think it'll.
And that's kind of subsided now, though, right?
Yeah, it's subsided.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was just those 8 hours. I woke up, the next day and it was all good. And I can't complain. I mean, knock on wood, I feel good. I feel more independent. I finally see a path to progress and normalcy, which is so nice.
Yeah, you're on the downhill now.
Yeah.
Right? You're through the toughest part, little PT, little, rehab.
Yeah.
You'll have to push yourself through.
Yep.
But you'll be up and going. I mean, it's weird because, you walked your way in to the OR because the human body will naturally heal itself, obviously, and it was already starting to take that process. But to be able to ski again and, do the things, play pickleball at some point in time, you're going to have to pick that up in the next few years, probably.
Yeah. Ironically, according to the nurse,
that's right.
She sees more ACL tears via pickleball than she has anything else recently. So
maybe that's because where we live.
It's true. Yeah.
You might see more ACL tears in Colorado if you were.
Yeah, if you were on like a ski hill or
Well, definitely on a ski hill, but even like Denver, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, big pickleball community.
Potentially, but I took your point. Your point is a lot of people are doing it playing pickleball.
Yeah. But now that I have a brand new couple ligaments in there, I should be all good to go for pickleball, soccer, whatever we want to do. And that's what the goal was, to get back to normal life. And we talked about it last week about how I think you're only as old as you feel, and I can see if you are immobile or it's hard for you to get around and be active, how that slips into your mentality. And so that's why it's never really been an option but to have surgery and to have it done as soon as possible so that I could get back to being normal activity and not even thinking about activity.
Yeah.
Again. Like it's, hey, I'm just going to go run and kick a soccer ball for a little bit with the kids. Am I a great soccer ball? I can't kick well at all. But the fact that I can do it without thinking about it is what it's all about.
Yeah, you don't have to have that in the back of your mind.
Right.
It's no way to live.
No.
If you want to be active.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So good. Well.
We're all good.
It's good to see you all done up again, looking like yourself.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, for women out there, like it is really nice to whatever you do to pamper yourself, whether it's make yourself look nice, like it just makes you feel a little more human.
Yeah.
Rather than being kind of dirty and I don't know. Showering hasn't been easy, so
Yeah.
feels good.
Well, you mentioned soccer, and we're going to brag just a minute on our oldest.
Yeah.
Right, which is fun because, you tell them what happened. I mean, you go ahead, start it if you want to, or I can.
You can start it. You
No,
go.
I just always feel like I talk so much on this.
Oh no.
But so our oldest was called up. He's a freshman at Keller High School.
Yeah.
And he got called up that he was going to play on varsity, which doesn't happen very often.
No.
Those kids are just so much bigger, so much more athletic. Someone was hurt, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of opened the door for him to suit. So on Friday,
Yep.
he suited up, and so sad you couldn't make it there.
I know. It'll always be one of those things that I regret not being able to make it.
Yeah, but I videoed almost the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you got to see. But he got in the second half, played for 17 minutes or so.
Yep.
And he played. I thought he played very well for himself. I thought he showed well, even though he said he was just shaken. It was 21. I mean, it felt like the real feel was like 21. So he was either shaking from the cold or nerves. But
Right. Or a little bit of both.
yeah.
But and that's the pride that you feel as a parent.
Oh my gosh.
Not because he played at that level or anything like that. It's the fact that he put himself in a position to get that opportunity
Yeah.
because he's worked his butt off to be in that type of position. But then also that he mastered the nerves
Yeah.
and he put it aside so that he could go out there and actually do what he loves to do and do it well. And I mean, it was just that step that he took, and it's all him, and
Yeah.
it was so cool.
Yeah, I was telling you afterwards that I had tears in my eyes like the first 10 minutes,
Yeah.
like videotaping, just so happy for him,
Yeah.
and proud of him, because it's a big deal. And, in our family, it's a big deal too, because I'm sure like a lot of you, certain families excel at certain things. And in our family, on both sides of it, for generations, we've just had very successful athletes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my family knows my background, and my mom. Have we mentioned on this? My mom gave me that book of all my
I don't think we've talked about your
accomplishments.
book.
My book of accomplishments. So funny, and I love we pulled it out like once. We don't pull it out often, but my mom, in a nutshell, kept all of my ribbons and all these pictures of trophies and all this kind of stuff, and she put it in this huge book with pictures that's just page by page. Here's Dad All-State, and here's Dad winning this, and Dad winning this. So, anyways, they know there's a little bit of a high bar to live up to Dad, which a lot of kids feel, and and other families watching this, Dad's always kind of set that bar, and and for me, I told him, and this kind of talks about like over the summer, he made a comment to one of his uncles, like, "Oh, Dad pushes us because he wants us to do something. He wants us to fill, that box that he was never able to do." And we've had a lot of discussions about that because I was really actually kind of mad that he said that because
it's not true.
I've never mentioned that.
Yeah.
B, I don't feel that way at all.
Right.
And I was so proud of him this Friday night because he's writing his own story.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing things that I never did.
Yeah.
My high school wasn't 4 years, but even if it was, I may never have played as a freshman at a varsity level, whether it was football, track, or basketball, or soccer for that matter too. I may never have done that.
Right.
The matter of fact is I never did. So I told him, I was like, buddy, you're writing your own book now. It's your own book of accomplishments.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, it's not a competition between me and you. You're not trying to fulfill anything for me. You're living your life, and you've done something now that I've never done.
Yeah.
You've already surpassed me as a freshman. You know what I mean? So, I mean, part of that was just that fatherly emotion for me of just being so proud of him blazing his own path. And I told him, I sent him a text earlier in the day. I said, be confident and be proud of what you leave out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think he could be proud of what he left out there.
Yeah.
Because I was proud of him.
Yeah. It was so cool. Like it was hard not being there, and I didn't want to text you or anything like that. You texted me, he's in, and knowing I knew you'd be videoing, and I wanted you to be in that moment, and it was just like radio silence, and I was the only one home at that point in time, and I was just like eggshells, just I need to hear, and man, to see his smile when he came through that door.
He's been on cloud 9 ever since.
He has, and it just.
And it's not, it is braggadocious a little bit for the family, but I mean, everybody knows it's around this, that playing on varsity as a freshman is a big deal. And it doesn't happen that often. We're at the biggest high school level in Texas, where Texas has big high schools.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's a small pond.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
And he's the only freshman that got pulled up. And he's been one of the only freshmen that's been pulled up in years.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's ready to go pro tomorrow either, but it's just, we're just proud of him.
We're proud. And it's, as a parent, when you see your kid blazing their path, and when they feel proud of their accomplishments, there is no better feeling as a parent. And whether that's on the sports field, whether that's in the academic setting, whether that's in music, and they are living their life and doing their best at it, and they feel proud of themselves. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hope that our listeners are thinking of their own kids right now in that moment when they saw that smile on their kid's face because they did something that they never maybe thought was possible.
Yeah.
And because it really is, it's probably one of the most powerful emotions as a parent.
It's like a blooming of a flower inside somebody when for the first time you can be like, what? You see that confidence seed sprout.
Yep.
And your hope, because even with our oldest, it's always like, that might be one of the things he struggled with a little bit. And little by little, that's how you build a life, by these little wins.
Yep.
And just seeing, that fertilizer. This is like fertilizer to that confidence sprout that just grew bigger since Friday night.
Yep.
And that's just what makes your heart just feel so great for them.
Yeah. Because you know that through the rest of their life, they're going to look back on that moment and pull it when they aren't feeling confident about themselves or when they need to think of a time where they felt good. Like, that's what Friday was, and he'll pull it from there.
Or when you make him his book of accomplishments, he will be able to pull that out and hold it and reign it over his own children.
Yes.
Just like I do. Every night. We need to bring it out tonight again.
We should bring it out.
I do like it, though. I'm not going to lie. It's like, hey, we have high expectations. Boom. And this is why.
Our children, just for the record, they loathe this book. They're like, Dad's not going to pull out the book, is he? And I'm like, no, guys, he's not.
Like, I won state photograph competitions, and it wasn't just athletics. It covers the board. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious here at all. Whatever, small fish, big pond, ball, whatever, opposite of that. But it is just hilarious. Like we were bowling the other day, and they're like, "You don't have a bowling trophy, Dad?" I'm like, "Actually, I do."
Yep.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah.
And I'm a horrible bowler. It just happened to be one of those things. It was a good day for.
It was a really good day.
It just happened. I showed up. I'm a gamer.
You're
Cub
a
Scouts. We had a bowling competition, and I'm a gamer, man. Cold-blooded. There's a reason why I use that song all the time. It's ice in the veins.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You're not a bad bowler. You're a pretty good bowler. Ironically, I was talking to.
I will not defend that.
I was talking to our oldest yesterday. I don't know why, but about bowling. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I think all dads are good at bowling. At some point, to be a dad, you just have to be a good bowler. I was like.
Who said? Our youngest said that?
That was our oldest.
Our oldest said that?
I have no idea.
I am not a good bowler. He doesn't have an idea what a good bowler is then.
I don't know. We don't spend a whole lot of time at bowling alleys.
Yeah. If you get a 9 every single time, that's 90. Right?
Yeah. That's how math works, yeah.
I don't know, 9 times 10. I don't know if maybe I don't know. But the last time we went was for our daughter's birthday. And I swear, I hit that front pin every which direction. Out of 2 games, almost every time I hit that front pin, either straight on the side or this side. Yeah. And I got a 9 almost every time.
You did get a lot of 9s.
So I didn't even break 100 in one of the games. I got 1 strike the whole time. Maybe 2. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm not a good bowler at all. I'm a terrible bowler.
Although in my family, that would be a good bowler
Play nines.
because we play nines. It's a game of so it's bowling, but you try to get 9 instead of a strike or a spare.
Yeah.
Just try to get 9. And I think my family is as gregarious as they are. I think they just like the fact that people kind of stare at them, that they're cheering that they left a pin up. But yeah, they play nines all the time. So
Sounds about right.
you're perfect.
Well, maybe that's why I've never been invited. They've heard.
They've heard you're gonna crush them at nines.
Yeah. And they're pretty competitive.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they are. I mean, we both come from very competitive families.
Yeah, that we come by that natural for sure.
As
and
do our kids.
And our youngest has taken it to a whole nother level.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna need therapy to bring that down.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he does. Everything's a competition with him.
Everything. I think part of that's being the youngest too.
Could be. You can talk to some of the other youngest people out there and see if they're that bad. But maybe they all are that way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to generalize.
Because they're always trying to keep up with the older siblings.
Yeah.
So there's always that competition and always trying to push themselves. At least that's been our experience.
Yep.
Right?
I think so.
That's our experience.
That's right.
So.
In our experience.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's our experience. So. Anyway,
well, next week. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's been a fun week. We also had it's been so cold here in Texas.
Freezing.
I know those listening in the north, you may not think it's cold, but it was actually we had a wind chill of -5 here. So I know it wasn't as cold as probably some of the northern states, but still most people would agree that -5 wind chill is pretty cold. So we had an easier week, which was kind of nice. We had a couple practices canceled, a track meet that was canceled. So
it was very helpful. Still on one driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really helpful. That was nice. And then nicer weather now coming around the turn, which we need because we don't have enough time to go into it today. But one of the bullet points we're going to talk about is just needing a vacation.
Yes. Yeah.
When did we go on vacation last? Was it Hawaii?
Hawaii was our last vacation. We did go skiing, but I mean...
Those were never vacations.
That's not a vacation.
That's why we always say, sometimes we go to Vail where you have family, and it's like, look, we are in and out. And don't take offense to it.
Yeah.
But, we're there to ski for 8 hours, sun up to sundown.
And
crash.
Yeah. I'm
going to drink some bourbon, you're going to drink some wine, we're going to go to bed, then we're going to get up and do it tomorrow. Then we're going to get on a plane and go back home.
Yeah, it is fast and furious.
Love you, family out there.
Right, absolutely. And
please don't take offense to that.
Yeah, we hope.
But that's not relaxing, is the point.
Yeah, it's not a relaxing vacation. If we were out there for a week and had downtime, we would obviously work that in. But holy cow, yeah, it's actually more exhausting than anything. Great time with the kids, great time to be out in nature. But we come back. I'm so tired. But yeah, Hawaii.
Or injured
in this case. Yeah, this last ski trip was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it was.
It really was a dumpster fire. From our youngest puking in the car with all the skis and all the gear while we're literally pulling into the driveway. I mean, and then what happened to our daughter and then my knee. It was a dumpster fire. Anyway, we won't go into that or revisit that. But yeah, Hawaii.
It's behind us now. So we'll actually get off this, probably go talk about if we're going to do anything over spring break.
Yep.
But we also have something potentially going overseas this summer, which would be huge. And I know the whole family would love that.
Oh, yeah. We've been jonesing.
Some Mediterranean possible.
That would be
excursions.
Nice.
But we'll see. I'd love to get out in the next... Well, geez, spring break is literally 3 weeks away now.
3 weeks away, yeah.
I don't know if you're going to be ready.
We may just have to do Verbo on a beach in Florida or something, and I'll...
Good. I thought you were going to say staycation for half a second.
No.
Don't you put that on me, Bobby.
No. In fact, I can ask my physical therapist, but walking on sand is probably really... as long as I'm walking slowly, might be good. I think
the vitamin D would be really good for you.
The vitamin D would be amazing. I'm feeling a little pale.
Yeah, little seasonal affect. I need to get out and get some sun.
Yeah, just feel some warmth, and I don't know. I need a vacation. I think you do too.
We all could go for a vacation. So, and it's coming up. The season is coming.
Yes.
Maybe not Disney is probably the point, right?
Ooh, yeah, no.
24,000 steps. Is that the record for the steps on the watch?
I think so. It was 24,000.
24,000
Yeah.
steps.
Those are some long days.
Let's see. It just right now, take a guess on how many steps I have at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh, I bet you have you went for a run, so you have probably at least 10,000.
Nope, 7,900.
Okay, well, we're not going to look at my watch and how many steps I have, so, because I'm going to guess
I'm beating you.
you're beating me, yeah.
Crushing you.
Yeah.
Usual.
It does not record steps with my crutches. It doesn't recognize that
really?
as a motion or a step, which is kind of jacked up because it's way more work than stepping.
Well, I will definitely write a strongly worded letter to Apple.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Steve Jobs.
See if they can get that. Well, he won't. He's deceased, hon.
That was the joke.
Oh, sorry. Didn't realize that. All right. Well, how are we going to close this then?
I don't know.
We're trying to get this thing. It's still in the 30 minutes right now. So.
Yeah. So, I think ultimately we'll come back next week maybe with some vacation plans. Let's see. Next week we'll have our oldest will be 15.
Sandwiches. Oh, dang. Yes, we have a birthday tomorrow. How could we? Birthday tomorrow.
I know.
The last birthday out of our birthday season.
Yes.
Everybody's doing the odd years this year, so 11, 13, 15.
So ping us if you know about how to get driver's permits. I looked at it yesterday. I think I have an idea, but yeah, if you guys have any, like tips and tricks of what to do.
Also, tips and tricks for drinking on the soccer sidelines.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that's coming back.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I used to try to hide that quite a bit, but
now it's just in the open?
Seems like it might be a thing. I didn't realize last night, yeah. A little bit more of that on the sidelines. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, now that I'm not on painkillers, I can maybe have one.
That'd be great.
Oh, isn't that guy from Saturday Night Live?
I don't know.
Anyway, we will, we can Mr. Rogers this, and, we'll be back next week with more to talk about.
I'll have more to talk about, and so will
you.
Sandcastles.
Snowy things.
Platypus.
Wow, you threw me on that one. Rhinoceros.
All right. We'll see you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
See ya.